Hi, and welcome to Differentiated Instruction Strategies with a focus on technology integration. Thank you for dropping your comments in the chat. We're going to get right on into it. So in today's session, you all will be able to describe at least two different differentiation strategies that can be implemented into your classroom to support student achievement. At the end of the session, you will select one of those strategies to implement in your own classroom and create a technology tool for differentiation. What this means is together we're going to talk about a couple different strategies. I will show you some different technology tools you can use. You'll have time to explore them, and then you're going to choose one of those tools to implement into your classroom in the coming week. All right, moving right along into our schedule. So right now we just got started. We're going to talk a little bit about me and our session. Then we will go into the different types of strategies. We're going to focus on two main strategies that should be new to you. Then we will talk about some technology integration, look over the tools, and then you will have time to explore those tools and choose one that you actually want to implement. So we will have time for you to plan that out today before we wrap up, and I will ask you to complete a quick survey. All right, talking about why this topic is being presented to you guys today. From our surveys that we do, we had a lot of teachers express that they wanted help with differentiation strategies, just because there's a lot of demanding needs from our students. In my own classroom, especially since the pandemic, we have students coming to us with a lot of learning gaps. And it's hard to meet the needs of all of our students. So differentiation strategies, as well as keeping them engaged, which is where the technology comes in, and we want to be able to personalize their instruction for each student. Differentiation will help you in many ways. It supports your students' achievement, not just for diagnostics, but just in terms of helping them meet their goals for the next year. Differentiation will increase their engagement. It will help them work through those more challenging topics. You'll be able to track their progress, to share with parents and the students to see how they're working on mastery, and then just supporting all of our levels of learners, the lowest and our highest. Moving into our second topic today, we're talking about the strategies for differentiated instruction. We'll take a moment here just to find out what you already know about differentiated instruction for your students. Thank you for sharing. As we know, differentiation instruction means that we have to adapt to different students' learning styles. And that means that there's never going to be a one-size-fits-all approach. So thank you for sharing some of your strategies with us. I think the four main ones we've talked about today include student collaboration. That's making sure that students get the chance to talk to one another. And then making sure that we have appropriate independent tasks. That's kind of wanting to meet their needs, giving them the tasks we want them to focus on when we're trying to differentiate. Lots of us talk about using learning stations, which is a very popular form of differentiation. And incorporating different senses is also something we want to consider just to appeal to those different styles of learners. We will be focusing mainly on student collaboration and senses today, since I know that these are mainly newer topics for those of you coming in today. So, student collaboration. This is differentiating a lesson to allow for collaboration. It helps students process content and the lesson by breaking away from the lecture style format. This is also how teachers tend to learn best, and what we will be getting to do here in a little bit. Rather than just a constant flow of instruction, they actually get to process the information with their peers, which is a great way to differentiate in your typical classroom setting, whether that is pausing instead of doing like a call response questioning technique, you want to have them turn and talk to the people around them. Incorporating different senses is not as challenging as we might think it is sometimes, so considering differentiation by planning lessons that will appeal to the students' senses, leaning on their visual, tactile, auditory, kinesthetic learning styles. So this is just trying to break away from that general paper pencil style. As often as we can, we want to incorporate movement, whether that is having them move from sides of the room, making groups with their peers as movement, acting out performances to move their bodies. We also want to appeal to their visual senses when we are in a lecturing format, we want to make sure we're including pictures or even printing out those pictures so that they can see them in bigger detail at their tables. Including videos when possible, or virtual field trips are a good option. Just appeal to those other senses. Auditory learners, when you're having them work on independent tasks, sometimes having something read aloud to them is a good way to appeal to those senses. All right, thinking of those two strategies, let's get into technology integration. So, what kind of technology do you already use in your classroom? Last year, our district went one-to-one, so it's great that all of us have those Chromebooks in the classroom to use. I know people at my school have recently gotten those LG Create boards, so those are some technology we have in the classroom. And we really want to just give you the tools to help use those things more often in your room to differentiate for your students. I will be assigning you each into a breakout room where you and the people in your breakout room will be investigating one of these resources. We've got 3 of them. The first one is going to be Newsela, then we have Edpuzzle, and then we have Immersive Reader. I'm going to go ahead and send you into your breakout rooms. Once you are in there, please decide in your group who will be the presenter for your group, because we will be sharing 2 of your key points after about 8 minutes of collaboration. All right, I will send you to your groups. All right, thank you for coming back from those breakout sessions. From what I heard, we all had some great topics going on in there. I'm glad you were able to collaborate with your peers. The first one we're going to talk about is Newsela. So go ahead, our Newsela presenter, tell us what you found. Thank you, Newsela. We're going to move on to Edpuzzle. Go ahead and tell us what your group found. Thank you, Edpuzzle group. Now we're going to move on to our Immersive Reader group. Go ahead and share with us your findings. Thank you so much. I feel like Immersive Reader is such a good one for us to try to use. It's one that a lot of us don't even realize is already open in our browsers every time we open up our computers. So we're actually going to take some time to experiment with that so that you can try using it yourself. So like they said, it is located in the upper corner of your screen. Go ahead and try it out for yourself. Again, all of these topics will be covered in our future sessions. I'm glad we were able to touch on some tools that hopefully you can try using today. I am now going to give you some time to plan which one you would like to integrate yourself. So again, just reviewing our objective for today, my hope is that you would be able to describe at least 2 differentiation strategies that can be implemented in their classroom to support student achievement. So in the chat right now, why don't you go ahead and drop 2 differentiation strategies that you can use in your classroom from today. Thank you for sharing. We're going to take a moment to decide what technology tool you would like to try using today. On that note-taking sheet that you have, there is a section at the bottom where it says pick a tool to use in your classroom. That is where you can record what resource you would like to try and how you plan to integrate it into your classroom. I will be available as you guys are working on your own, so if you need me, just go ahead and raise your hand or comment in the chat, and I will be happy to help you. I really think that Immersive Reader is a good one for us to try implementing, or if you really want to explore one of those games, like Kahoot or Blooket, absolutely take the time to do that, and just let me know how you plan to use it. We will have about 10 minutes to work on this task before we wrap up today and take our survey. Alright, our 10 minutes is up. That by no means means that you have to stop. Of course, take time during your plannings in the future to continue thinking about how you might want to integrate this technology tools into your own differentiation. For now, we're going to wrap up our topic before I let you guys go. So from our chat, you all were able to identify 2 different strategies for differentiation, and you've had the time to now plan how you will implement one of these strategies in your own classroom using one of the technology tools we talked about. I really appreciate you joining me today. I will be in touch with those of you to see how you are doing with implementation, and I'm always here if you guys have questions or need help troubleshooting any issues you run into. I will share this presentation with you so that you can refer back to some of those resources, follow any links you would like to. And before I wrap this up, I appreciate your feedback. Please let me know how our session went today. Let me know how I can improve for future sessions.